to this one. The YouTube channel is blowing up right now because you pretty much perfectly summed up what was going to happen. This fight was not even 60 seconds. Do you know that?
Yeah.
And then out of 60 seconds, they was only fighting for 30 of those seconds because they was real cautious in the beginning. Now, my prediction was tie just because fighting Cyril Gane, I thought that little brawling style would be out of his system. I thought that he would have learned from Cyril Gane, okay, I have to be more technical, I have to be more clean, but I was wrong. But you pretty much predicted this one down to a T, man.
Yeah, one guy's going to be throwing combinations, and Sergei's awareness is good enough to not get caught with one punch. And I think if he did, I think he was probably going to recover. Because then Ty was going to throw another one, and he's probably going to miss that one. And then you have a Ty Tuivasa who's going to throw one punch at a time. It's like you got bigger, stronger, longer Sergei, man. It's just, he's like a created character in the video game. If he can stuff takedowns, there's one question about him, his takedown defense, man. But like, I mean, the one issue I had with Tuivasa is, I don't know why he took this fight. This was a high risk, low reward type of fight, man. You go out there. That's why I say you should have fought Chris Dawkins or somebody, or even the other Sergei. You know, you fought the wrong Sergei, man. But I mean, because the thing is, when you're in the top 5, you just got to maintain your ranking.
He may have thought he was fighting the other Sergei. Because remember when they announced the Derek Lewis fight, I thought this was a rematch.
You want me to tell you how I know he didn't do that? Because he already fought the other Sergei. He's very familiar with both of them. Because he done fought both of them. They both beat him.
I know he's familiar with this one because... yeah. Man, and it was just a bad game plan, and there was no jab, there was no moving around. Once it became an exchange of punches, it immediately turned into a brawl. When you look at Sergei, he's in and out, his head movement left and right, jab, he's throwing feints. I mean, this is all happening in the span of 2 or 3 seconds now, and he's doing all these different things. Meanwhile, Ty was hoping that Sergei would run in, and he was trying to counter with one big punch. But you're not fighting Greg Hardy. This is not Greg Hardy. Because remember, Greg actually hurt Ty and was about to finish him, but then Ty just threw a left hand and it caught him.
I think this benefits Sergei more because he already fought Greg and he already beat Greg in the manner he did. Because if Ty Tuivasa would have fought Sergei 4 years ago, maybe Ty would have caught him with the same thing. Or just 2 years ago, maybe he catches him. But because...
Yeah, 4 years ago, he definitely was still lost.
Oh, yeah. But, no, I'm saying, but the thing is, he was able to learn from previous Tuivasa mistakes. Even the Cyril Gane, Derek Lewis, all these guys, he learned from all their mistakes.
Because if you remember, Cyril Gane kept trying to go in on Ty Tuivasa, and he was almost getting clipped here and there. And sometimes he did get hit, but his defense was up. And Ty was always one punch away from winning the fight. Ty, he just turned it into a brawl, man, and it just shows... I mean, obviously, there's always a lot of work to do for everybody. Yeah. But he was at the top of the mountain, man, and this definitely sends him down. Like, he'll still be in the top 10, but you know what? He'll probably fight the winner of Dawkins and Jairzinho. They'll use their name in their ranking.
Him versus Rosenstrike. Oh my God, that's horrible.
They'll use one of those guys to keep him afloat because people do like him.
I don't like that. It's two of a high risk fights, man. These strikers. You know, because what's happening is it's going to turn to a striking match. He's going to start brawling and he might get caught again and get knocked out.
Because if you basically got a 1-2 and some knockout power, you can beat Ty Tuivasa.
But that's the funny thing you said that, because it's almost like Sergei didn't respect Tuivasa's power, the way he was walking him down. It was like, dang,
he did respect his power, but I told you, he was throwing feints. Like, one thing, he'll step in, it seemed like he was closer to Ty than what he was. And so then when he would step in and throw a feint, Ty would bite on it and counter, and then Sergei would counter his counter. And with the longer reach and the power and the volumes, like you said, it didn't last too long, man. But we hopefully Ty can take a better fight, man, because obviously we like him. Now, what's next for Sergei? I'm thinking Tom Aspinall, depending on his recovery from his injury. But what about Curtis Blades? What about Cyril Gane?
Anybody other than them two, because we want to see Curtis and Tom. We want to see them settle that fight out. You know, dude, because there's a lot of questions about that. But anybody other than those two,
I think that's over because Curtis Blades is waiting in the wings just in case John Jones need a. So the Tom Aspinall thing, I don't even know if he healthy. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there.
But I don't think like a Stipe would take Sergei fight. He's smart enough to know it's two of a high risk. I'm not saying he can beat Stipe, but I'm just saying Stipe is more of bro. I'm in top 3. All I got, I'm one win away from a title shot, man. I'm not gonna take this high risk fight.
No. So I mean, for Sergei, man, I'm thinking maybe a Curtis Blades, maybe a Cyril Gane. Those fights make sense.
And those are only people he can't, like, those are the only people ahead of him.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not finna fight for the belt, man. So I mean, and obviously John Jones not finna fight him. I can almost promise you that.
Oh no, this over with.